Hi everyone, it's Greno and welcome to my quick Gunlance guide. If you want to cut out the fluff and learn the weapon as fast as possible, this guide is for you. But if you want to learn the weapon in more details, we have an advanced guide coming out soon. Let's get started, shall we? Are you looking for a versatile weapon with satisfying combos and great defensive options while throwing huge explosions left and right? Then the Gunlance might be for you. Let's start with the basics. The Gunlance is essentially a big stick with a gun attached to it to fire what we call shells. There are three different types of shells, long, normal, and wide, which is referring to their effective range, but I will cover them in an upcoming video. So for now, don't worry about it, just play whichever one you like. On the top left of your screen, you will be able to see your magazine, worm stake, and wyvern fire gauge. Pressing circle will fire a shell, while holding it will allow you to fire multiple shells at once. Shelling does true damage, so there's no point aiming it at a weak spot. Once you are out of shells, you can press circle to do a quick reload, but note that this will not reload your worm stake. To reload the worm stake, you need to do a guard reload by pressing right trigger plus circle. Pressing Y will do a lateral thrust, pressing it again will do a lateral thrust too, and pressing it a third time will put you into a wide sweep, which is the most important move of the Gunlance. Wide sweep allows you to transition into your most powerful combos that we're gonna explain next. You can also hold forward and press Y to do a lunging up thrust and close that gap between you and the monster. The basic combo is just 4 triangle attack ending with the worm stake cannon, which will consume your worm stake. You can also do a poke combo while guarding if you want to be more on the defensive side. The original Gunlance combo used to go like this: poke, poke, shell, sidestep, poke, poke, shell, sidestep. But now there are much better options in Wilds. What I suggest you to do instead is to transition from your wide sweep into a worm stake full blast by pressing triangle and circle at the same time. Then triangle or circle to get into full blast again. This will unload all your shells at once on the monster and pull out a ton of damage. Now you might think this is a great combo and that does a lot of damage, but I'm here to tell you, it gets even better. From any worm stake attack, you can transition into Wyvern's Fire for a reduced wind-up duration. Wyvern Fire is done by guarding and pressing triangle and circle at the same time. It's probably the most broken attack of the Gunlance, pulling out massive damage and having a very long range of attack. Now you might think this is it, but again, it gets even better. You can follow up your Wyvern Fire with another Wyvern Fire for another reduced wind-up of the attack. And before you ask, yes, the Gunlance is totally OP in Monster Hunter Wilds. With that said, your goal should be to get into the wide sweep attack as often as possible, so you can transition into your multi-worm stake full blast. I've shown you one way of getting into the wide sweep from the double poke combo, but there are many more ways. The quickest way to get into the multi-full blast combo is done by pressing circle to blast a shell, then forward plus triangle to get into a moving wide sweep. And now that you're in a wide sweep, you can press triangle and circle to do the full blast combo, then triangle or circle again to do the multi-full blast. If your Wyvern Fire gauge are full, you can follow it up with a double Wyvern Fire, and that would be the most optimal combo for Gunlance. I timed it and this whole combo lasts for 17 seconds, so make sure you have a good opening before starting this combo. Your next combo of choice will be the Burst Fire combo. This combo deals less damage than your full blast, but it is a lot quicker to pull off. I recommend using it if the monster is moving a lot and you are struggling to find openings. To do the Burst Fire combo, you want to press triangle and circle for a rising slash, followed by triangle for an overhead smash. From your overhead smash, while your Gunlance is touching the ground, just press circle to fire all your shells at once. And then you can follow it up by 2 triangle attack to end up in a worm stake cannon, so you can transition to Wyvern's Fire. Next thing I want to mention is a little tip that is quite good if you're playing wide shelling. I will make a video about the different shelling types, so if you're wondering what the difference are, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on it. So here's the tip. If you hold circle, you can do a charge shelling attack. The longer you hold, the more shell you are going to unload with releasing. Now this attack itself is already pretty good and I suggest you using it, but also, as you can see on the top left corner of the screen, recharges your Wyvern Fire by a lot. This works better with wide shelling since the recovery of this gauge is increased, but all Gunlance type can use this attack. If you have the load shell skills to get an extra shell, it will only take you 3 charge attack to fully replenish all your gauge. So a very strong alternative playstyle to the full blast spam is to spam your Wyvern Fire using the charge shell recovery. Once it is charged, you could just do the Burst Fire combo to get into Worm Stake Cannon as fast as possible and then unload your Wyvern Fire. Remember that all Worm Stake attack reduce the wind up of your Wyvern Fire, so make sure to take advantage of it. Here's another quick tip. Your Focus Strike counts as a Worm Stake attack, so if you are ever struggling to find an opening for your Wyvern Fire, you can just do a Focus Strike to immobilize the monster and immediately follow it up with your Wyvern Fire attack. This is very easy to pull off and allows you to create good openings for massive damage. Now let's go over the perfect guard mechanic. If you guard an attack right at the time it should hit you, you will do a perfect guard, which will allow you to not take any chip damage and follow up your attack with a wide sweep to go into full blast mode. In addition to perfect guard, there's a guard point mechanic which allows you to guard while attacking. This is a bit harder to master, I might do a video dedicated on it, but just know that if the shield is in front of you and glowing white, it means you can guard during this animation. Next up, let's talk about mobility. There are various ways you can reposition quickly with the Gunlance. Depending on the situation, one of the things you can do to gain more mobility is the evade extender skill. At max level, it allows you to cover great distances without ever sheathing your weapon. Having at least one evade extender point is a must-have for me when I play the Gunlance. Another way you can increase mobility is with focus mode. If you are playing the Gunlance, I highly recommend you set it to toggle mode in the options menu, because being in focus mode will act as an evade extender for the Gunlance, which will increase the distance covered by your hops and lunging attack. Combine that with evade extender and you're almost as mobile as someone using dual blades. Last way to increase mobility, and kind of a fun one, is to do shelling attacks while moving in the direction you want. You will notice your character doing some kind of side hop, and you can just repeat this a couple of times to cover the distance you need. This is especially useful when trying to move around the monster without losing DPS. Finally, I will end up with some recommended skill for the Gunlance. If you are playing wide shelling, you only get 2 shells. So for my wide players out there, load shells is an incredible skill that will allow you to have an extra shell at level 2. This is very strong when spamming your full blast combo and might be the biggest damage increase from all the weapon in the entire game. Next one is artillery. This will strengthen the damage of your shell and wyvern fire, making it an essential skill for Gunlance. Guard up is also pretty good for Gunlance since it allows you to block some attack that you couldn't normally and reduces chip damage. And the last one is evade extender, which I already talked about, but it will make your hops go farther than normal, which will give you all the mobility you need with the slow walking speed of the Gunlance. That's it for my quick guide. I hope you will enjoy playing the boomstick. Leave a like and subscribe if it was helpful, and as always, happy hunting. Goodbye!